Hey everybody, it's Brittany. So, man, it has been forever since I've done a video on this channel. Almost 2 years. So I got some updates to, share. So I guess, probably the biggest thing that happened for me, in 2012 was, a couple things really. Um, I got to, meet my grandpa for the first time, really. Like, really be able to meet him and stuff like that. And that was exciting. Um, and then I used to have three dogs, Maddie, Shadow, and Judea, and, stuff like that. But this past November 23rd, 2012, um, me and my mom were struggling on making this decision for the longest time. And we always said we were going to do it, and then, we would change our minds, and, again, make up our minds, so we'll do it, and then change our minds again. But, this time, we really, stuck to our guns, even though we didn't really want to do it and stuff. But, with our dog, Shadow, he was the eldest of all of my pets. And he was 15 and a half. And, he had a lot of medical conditions, and an enlarged heart. He had a cough. His lungs were kind of failing. Um, he was allergic to his own dandruff or hair or something. He was almost completely blind and almost completely deaf, and everything. And his health was just going downhill, and everything. And with his cough, there would be times where it wouldn't be so bad, but it got to the point where it got really bad this one time, and me and my mom took him to the vet, and they had to, put him on some medication, and they said it would be best to, go ahead and put him down. And at that time, we didn't want to. So we waited a little bit longer, but on November 23rd, we were discussing it and stuff like that, and we made the hardest decision any owner would have to make when it comes to regards of their baby, their pet, their best friends, their their son, 'cause, our pets, they become to be such, a big part of our family. We consider them our kids. And, for me, Shadow was like my brother. We grew up together. He was born in 97, I was born in 93. So we were only like, 5, 6 years apart. And he, or maybe not even that, see, I was about 4 or 5 when he was born, but we didn't get him until maybe 98, 99. And stuff like that. So he was pretty much my little brother, and he will always be my little brother, even though, he was a dog and he walked on all 4 paws and stuff like that. Um, but we made the decision to go ahead and put him down on November 23rd, which was a couple days after Thanksgiving. And it was a very hard decision. I mean, because that morning you wake up seeing your dog, still alive, pretty much. Drinking, eating, barking, doing whatever they do. And then you take him to the vet and you see him, still breathing and all that. And they take him to the back and then they bring him back to you in a box. It's like, what did I just do? And to me, still to this day, it's been almost 5 months now. And for me, I still feel so guilty for doing it. Because I completely and strongly am against killing animals for whatever reason. And everything. And just in my mind, it's like paying to have the dog killed, and that's how it is for me, and that's how I think of it, and I know we did what was best for him, but then again, I don't think it was what was best for him. So having to put Shadow down was really hard on me and my mom especially, because he was our dog. And he was originally my aunt's dog, but she never cared about the dog. She never cared about Shadow and everything. So, me and my mom always got stuck with Shadow wherever we moved, which we didn't mind, but, and then when the dog gets left to you when you don't even expect it to or, really want it to, you get so attached to that dog and everything, and what we had to go through was just should have been put on our plate and put in our and we shouldn't have been put in that situation to begin with. It would have been different if he was the dog that we bought, but we didn't purchase the dog. My grandmother did. She bought it from my aunt, who was only like 4 years older than I am. But again, she never clinged to Shadow and stuff, so Shadow became me and my mom's dog. So, that morning we just started breaking down crying. And it was so hard. And I mean, it's still hard. I mean, after we did that, we had a very beautiful ceremony for him in my great-grandmother's backyard, and that's where he lays to rest until me and my mom decided to move back to our hometown. Well, it's my hometown, rather. To Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I think once we move back, we're probably gonna take Shadow back out there to where he can finally lay to rest, where he's from, on his own native land, and stuff like that. But right now, he lays to rest in my great grandmother's backyard, and everything, and so with that. So it was really hard, because Thanksgiving was just was right before that, and then Christmas was coming up, and it was hard, and me and my mom felt guilty. We should have just did it, after Christmas, you know. And my mom, we were talking about how we wanted a fresh start, and with poodles, especially, in which Shadow was a poodle, he was a toy poodle. When poodles get older, they have a tendency to get really bad bladder problems. And Shadow had a really weak bladder, and he would just go, pretty much. And we wanted a fresh start, and we didn't want to have to deal with that anymore. And I know that sounds horrible to say, to get rid of a dog like that just because he pees on the floor. But he's been doing it for a long time now, and it was just becoming a really big issue because, we don't own a house. We rent, and if we own our own house, it'll be different because we can easily replace the carpet or whatever. But when you're renting, it can go against you and stuff. And stuff like that. So me and my mom, we made the conscious decision to do it. Not just because of that, but because of his health in general and everything. So that happened, and then January of this year was this year started off not the way anyone would want to start off the new year. Definitely not the way you would want to start it off. But, on January 1st of this year, my grandmother, had her first heart attack on January 1st. We didn't go over there the night of New Year's Eve, to watch the ball drop or anything. Me and my mom stayed at home and did our own thing, and then, on New Year's, pretty much on January 1st, we went over there, had New Year's dinner and whatever, and stuff like that, and we did all that, and then a little while afterwards, my grandmother started feeling really weak and stuff like that, and she ended up having a heart attack. And I asked the paramedics, do you think it could be a heart attack? And the stupid paramedic said no, she's not having any signs of it being a heart attack and everything else. But when she got to the hospital and they did the testing they needed to do, I know that she did have a heart attack. And my whole family was there. My great grandmother, my mom, my uncle, my aunt, me, and my baby cousin Liam. And we pretty much all witnessed my grandmother go into this heart attack. And I didn't go to the hospital. I stayed behind to watch my baby cousin Liam, who's not even 2 years old yet. He's gonna be 2 this coming May. And so that day was just a crazy day, and my grandmother was in the hospital for probably 2 weeks, it seems, and stuff like that. And also, what's happened in January is in January I started adopting hamsters and stuff like that. And see, and then also, I found out some information about my dad's side. I had speculated that my grandpa, my dad's dad, died, but wasn't for sure if it was him or not. I saw an obituary in the Albuquerque, New Mexico obituary news things, and there was Apology Hill and whatnot, and I didn't know if it was him for sure or not, but came across my Aunt Susan on Facebook. I had to do it underneath a different account. I added her. She approved. She didn't know it was me though. She thought I was someone else. And I got her phone number, called her, left her a message, and before all that, I saw some pictures that she was posting of a little boy named Benjamin Hill, and I didn't know who this little boy was, because she made a comment saying he's just like a Hill, and that's my dad's last name is Hill, and it's my maiden last name, kind of. And so like that, so me and my mom were, contradicting, could that be my dad's kid? Could that be my little brother, or could it be one of my uncle's kids, or could it be my Aunt Susan's kid? And so there was no way of, finding out. But he was a cute little boy. He has hazel eyes, it looks like, and light brown hair. He was born in July, probably around 2008, 2009. He's about the same age as my other little cousin, Addison, who is from my mom's side. So, and everything. And so I called my Aunt Susan, left her a message. She sent me a text saying, "Do not call or text me again. I don't want nothing to do with you." And I responded, I'm like asking why, and she wouldn't give me a straight up answer. And she lied, saying that she broke ties with the family and all this bull crap and everything. So then I was trying to do some more research, and then I came across my Uncle Kurt's ex-wife, Michelle, which is my cousin Shantae's mom, and found her, and then through her, I saw she was on Instagram, and then through her Instagram, I found my cousin Shantae, and come to find out, that little boy Benjamin is my cousin Shantae's little half-brother through my Uncle Kurt, which is my cousin Shantae's dad. And so my Uncle Kurt is the father of my baby cousin Benjamin. And so that is what put those little dots together. So I have a baby cousin that I didn't know exists, and he probably doesn't know that I exist either. And then I tried making contact with my cousin Shantae and gave her my info, and but she blocked me and stuff like that. But I made communication through her mom, and stuff like that, and stuff like that. And then I tried making contact with my dad. That's the main person I really care to get in contact with, but no luck. So, being rejected officially by my dad's family, it is hard. So, it was hard enough not having him in my life growing up, and then his family coming in and out of my life constantly, and everything, and and then come to find out that my grandfather did indeed die, but not because of what I thought he died of, but he died of cancer. Apparently he was diagnosed June 7th, and then 3 days later he died on June 10th. The exact year that I was to turn 18, and the exact month he died 15 days, or no, not 15 days, he died 5 days, no, 6 days before my birthday. And it's hard knowing that, I wasn't able to say goodbye or anything, but I guess it's just the way it was meant to happen. And I hope someday, they will get over their bitterness and their issues, whatever they are, and try to, reach out to me. So that's that. Um, and I wrote a song about the whole situation, pretty much. It's called Not Calling Back, and it's pretty much like a rap song, I guess, hip hop, and stuff like that. And it does have some foul language in it, but it's just me putting my feelings and everything into it, and it's like that. I mean, I like it. I like the way it turned out, and I mean, I made a clean version of it too, without the curse words and stuff like that. So that's what's been going on. And then what else has happened this month? Oh, this year I found out that one of my favorite teachers passed away apparently last August, and I did not know that. I have her as a friend on Facebook, and she wasn't posting for the longest time, so I went to her profile and saw a post that her daughter made, and I was like, no, it can't be. So I went and I googled my teacher's name, and it brought up her obituary. I was like, I did not know she was my favorite theater arts teacher. I had her for 5 years, all in high school, and the last time I really saw her. I mean, I saw her in class and stuff, but um, I don't know if any of the other kids could say this, that but back in 2011, a year exact before she passed away, um, I went to Newark, New Jersey, New York, pretty much for the One Night to Live fan club weekend and everything. And that Sunday I flew back. I was going to fly back with my mom back to Houston because my mom had to go to work the next day and all that. And when we were at the airport, waiting to be able to get our seats on the plane and everything, and I hear this older woman, say Brittany, and I looked over and I'm like, oh my God, that's my teacher, Miss Miller, and she was in New York with a friend, and she loves Broadway, and as I do too, and it's everything. She's like, well, what are you doing out here? And I'm like, well, I attended the One Life Live at a club weekend and whatnot. And everything, so we flew back on the same plane, which was very unexpected. Because, I mean, how often do you run into your teacher? And everything, so. And those last couple months were my last time seeing her. And then, to find out that she passed away was so hard. I got teary-eyed. So that's another thing I found out this year. And again, like I said, I've been adopting hamsters. I have officially adopted 12 hamsters now. I have 4 winter whites, 3 Russian dwarfs, a fancy Russian, and 4 robos. 2 of my winter whites are girls, and the other 2 are boys, and those are all siblings. 2 of my robos are boys, and they're brothers, and the other 2 robos are females, and they're sisters. And then my 3 Russians aren't related to one another. And then I have one fancy Russian. And stuff like that. So majority of my hamsters are related to one another. Stuff. In fact, I just adopted my third Russian yesterday. But before him, I adopted a Chinese dwarf, male, and I did not realize on those hamsters that they're very skinny and long, and then like their butts, like their backside, they have a really big lump, and it's apparently their balls, their testicles, their junk, and whatever. Cause, I mean, the guy that was getting the hamster told me, with these hamsters, their junk really shows. And me and my mom was like, oh, okay, whatever. We didn't know. But I got home, saw the hamster, I was like, oh, hell no. That's very, no. I mean, you can literally see the little line that goes and splits between the ball sacks, or the butt, whatever it was, and it was all pink, and it's like, that is just not cute. So I sadly I went to return that hamster, and I decided to get me another Russian. So I'm familiar with Russians, and thankfully with Russians, with the whites and any of the other hamster breeds, their ball sacks are not very noticeable, thankfully, compared to the Chinese dwarfs. I don't think I'll ever own a Chinese dwarf unless it's a female, because the males, they're cute, but with that little ball sack, that's like, it looks like a baby's about to pop out or something, and it looks very unnatural. And I know it's natural, but it's just, it's nasty looking. And stuff like that. So, and the names of my hamsters, my first hamster that I adopted was Zerk and Sino, who are the two male robos, and after them I got Dina and Gabrielle, who are my female robos. After them I adopted Adric, who's my fancy Russian, and then after him I adopted Pak, who is a Russian. After him I got Mila, who is my other Russian. After her, I got the two winter white females, Phoebe and Piper. And then after about a week later, too, I adopted their brothers who are still available for adoption from a breeder, and I named them Cole and Leo. And then after them, I got Matthias, who's the new hamster I got yesterday, the baby Russian. So that's all my hamsters, and all their names, stuff like that, so, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this year has had its whirlwinds, so much has happened, and everything. And also this year, One Life to Live, One Life to Live and All My Children Are canceled back in 2011, okay? They last aired in January of 2012, went off air. Now, January a year later this year, Prospect Park was still trying to figure out how can they reboot pretty much the soap operas and stuff like that. So now officially they're able to, and now officially One Life to Live and All My Children are coming back. They're going to be 30-minute segments online on iTunes, Hulu, and Hulu Plus. And all the OLTL AMC fans are ecstatic about it. I mean, and so then some of the original cast members of each soap was brought back on because they wanted to re-sign with them. And my favorite, Melissa Archer, she signed on back as her character Natalie. And stuff like that. But with three of the characters from One Life to Live went on to General Hospital, and it's a big contradicting problem between ABC and Prospect Park, because Prospect Park pretty much owns the rights to the characters John, Star, and Todd, but those characters are now on General Hospital, which ABC has kind of rights to the characters as well, and the actors are on contract with ABC. So what they're doing now with the characters is that they made it to where Roger Howarth, Michael Easton, and Chris Nelson cannot be on General Hospital until they get this whole crap figured out. But apparently, Michael Easton, Chris Nelson, and Roger Howarth will be returning to General Hospital, but not as Star, John, and Todd. They'll be returning as different characters. And then the characters of John, Star, and Todd will be all recast to be on Prospect Park, pretty much, is what I'm aware of what's going to happen. So it's going to be really different with the whole storylines that General Hospital has going on, because, I mean, with General Hospital you have Michael dating Star, you have Carly that's interested in Todd, you have Michael Easton's character, John, who's interested in Sam, and it's just it's a very big, it's a big problem that ABC and Prospect Park are having to do, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's an issue. But I'm very happy that will air on April 29th of this year. So get ready, soap fans, and stuff like that. So yeah, so a lot has been going on this year. Also last year, this past November, I also got rebaptized. And pretty much rededicated my life to, Christ, and been working really hard to do my best as being a newborn Christian, and stuff like that, and stuff. So, and it's Good Friday, so Good Friday to you all, and happy Easter weekend. And stuff like that. So, yep. But you guys probably didn't know this. Back in 2011 was when I got my dog Judea, who's a Dachshund Chihuahua Terrier mix. I got him in October, so a month later after I did that last video. And then a couple, like that December, I got my iPhone, which I still have, and I love it. It's a lot better than my Android that I had. But yeah, I mean, so much has happened since the last video I did. I'm mostly on my other YouTube channel, which is my main, but I'm gonna start posting videos on this one as much as I can. I do have a new channel. It's Zarek and Zeno Hamsters. It's pretty much the channel all about my hamsters. So you guys can check that out. I'll post that link in the description section below. If you guys want to check it out. I've also been working on a blog. It's called Brittany/Pet Clan, and it's pretty much a blog all about my pets. I've done 4 posts so far, pretty much about each of my pets. And I think this next post I'm going to be doing is about how I just recently adopted Matthias. And you guys probably wondering, where did I get all these names from? How did I come up with the names for my hamsters? And when I saw this, go say that real quick. Zarek and Zeno are both Greek names. Xena and Gabrielle are after 2 of my favorite characters of my favorite TV show, Xena the Warrior Princess. That's where they get their names. Phoebe, Piper, Cole, and Leo are characters from Charmed, pretty much for the main leading characters. Mila, I just came up with that name pretty much. Her middle name is, so yeah. And then Pock, I couldn't really, it's hard naming him. And the only name that he would respond to is Pock. And then Adric is a Russian name, and it means dark brown or brown in Russian, and I thought that would be perfect for him. And then Matthias is also after a TV show that I grew up watching. It's a cartoon. It's based on the novels of Brad Wall. And the lead character is Matthias, and I thought that would be a cute name. Even though in the series and stuff, it's a mouse named Matthias. I thought, well, I don't have a mouse, so I'll just name my hamster Matthias. And and everything. So that's how my hamsters got their names. So yeah, so I have a total of 17 animals now. So I have my 2 dogs, my 3 cats, my rabbit, and then my 12 hamsters. Um, and hamsters are very easy to take care of. They don't cost a whole lot of money. Um, and not only that, but you know, they only have a long lifespan. Um, they only live 2 to 3 years on average. But you know, if their health and stuff checks out and stuff, if they're real lucky, they can probably live longer than 3 years. And stuff like that. So, but I love them. They're cute. They're fun to play with as long as they don't bite. Adric, he bit me the first day I got him. Um, silly hamster. He's bit me twice. But my other ones, they haven't really bit me. So, yeah. But anyway, those are the most pretty much caught up to updates that I have. I rearranged my room probably 2 weekends ago now. Maybe. I would like change, and I want to change in my room, so. And now on my page, Most Ultra Fan Site, we're almost at 900 likes, which is awesome. So we're making progress with more likes and everything on that page. And all that, so I hope you guys have a wonderful Easter weekend. And don't forget what the true meaning of Easter is all about. The true meaning is not about a rabbit hopping around giving out candy and all that, or dropping eggs. The true meaning behind Easter is the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The day he, you know, resurrected from the dead and rose to heaven. That's the true meaning of it, and how he died for our sins and went through all that, you know, torture, and was nailed to the cross, be crucified, and all that. So don't forget the true meaning of what Easter is all about. This is a time to be thankful for the Lord, thankful for all the things that he has blessed us with, that he continues to give to us every day, and everything, and just to, you know, just be thankful for, you know, the sacrifice that he made for us. He did for us. Now he's giving his life up for us so he can die for our sins, and I think a lot of people take that for granted. And so like that. So don't forget what the true meaning of Easter is, because it's really not about Easter rabbit dropping eggs and all that other hoo-ha, spitting Annie that got caught up into the real tradition of Easter, and stuff like that. So now I'm just gonna put it out there. Okay, Santa is not real, the Tooth Fairy is not real, and the Easter rabbit is not real. Okay? Those are all freaking legends and fairy tangled stories that have gotten caught up in the real meaning of Christmas, Easter, and personally I don't know who the hell came up with the Tooth Fairy, and you get money for your tooth, but they're not real. Okay, there's no such things as fairies. There is a such thing as Saint Nick, but Santa Claus and flying reindeer, yeah. If you're living in La La Land, and then the Easter rabbit, no, it's whack. There's no such thing. So if you're a kid and you check this video out, sorry to disappoint. But that's one thing I will never, ever, ever teach my kids about, is the false information of what Christmas and Easter is really about. Because I'm not going to fill that false info into my kid's head and let them think that, you know, Santa Claus and the Easter Rabbit and the Tooth Fairy and whoever else is real, because they're not. They're not real people. And it's stupid. And my kids will know what the true meaning of these holidays are. My Easter is not about some stupid rabbit, you know, sneaking in the night, leaving Easter baskets and all this other crap. No. My kids will know the true meaning behind the traditional holidays. I don't mean to criticize, but those people that teach our kids that, it's stupid. I mean, I was raised, thinking of the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Rabbit and Santa Claus is real. And now I'm an adult, and I don't want my kids being brought up believing in that mischief. It's crap. It's a load of crap. I'm not telling y'all how to raise your kids or anything, but do what you want. But my kids will be taught the real tradition of what those holidays are for and why we celebrate them. And stuff like that, so. I mean, I'm not going to go sit there and tell my little cousins or anything that they're not real because that will be just jacked up, but my kids will know from the beginning they are not real. So, if my kids come home asking, is Santa Claus real? Is Tooth Fairy real? Is Easter Rabbit real? I'm like, no. Those are things that people have made up for little kids so that they can enjoy the holiday and have fun with it and all this hoo-ha and whatever. But anyway, that's my plans. But I'm gonna let you go. You guys have an awesome Easter. Don't forget the real meaning of what Easter is all about. Again, it's not about an Easter rabbit. Okay, it's about the crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus Christ and how He died for our sins. He was whipped to death. He was nailed to a cross, crucified for us. Okay? Don't forget that. God bless you all. Have a good weekend.